Police! Police! Stop where you are! Where are they?
Hello guys, and welcome back to some more Sherlock Holmes crimes and punishments. And I will look for a safe, apparently. In this manor or something. Bookcase. Maybe there's like a secret passage or something?
This cupboard is an absolute mess.
Secret books.
Several books have fallen from the shelves.
Are you sure they're
It seems
fallen?
as though this cupboard can be moved. I'll give it a try.
Oh, that was my first guess. That's kind of funny. If this is correct. Wow, this is the safe? I mean,
So,
I didn't mean to
that's
find it
the
already.
lock I must open tonight. Let me see.
Oh yeah, it needs the key, doesn't it? Is it as complicated or what? Well, first need to figure out what's on this side before I do anything. So we have these lines here, and then this one. Then we have you, which I'm going to try to connect like this. And then you connect like that, and then you connect like that, and you connect up here. Okay, then we have this one, which doesn't connect properly. Okay, solved it. Good. Is there a second one?
What a surprise. Another lock. And I won't be able to pick it. I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. I suppose they hired me to only open the first lock. Let us wait for the thieves, trap them, and find out.
Sounds like a good idea, Holmes.
Let us check the thieves' possible escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door.
I mean, there could be multiple. They could jump through the windows if they really want to. There's a front door, of course. There's the window.
The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police.
Okay, yeah, but does that mean I found out where they would escape to? Probably.
This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
Okay, then we have this. Don't know what this is for, though.
A solid rope.
Am I gonna set up traps? Is that what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have to
This
prevent
should
them.
be useful.
Just gonna carry a chair with me? Where am I carrying the chair?
A solid.
I can use it to maybe stop something. Kitchen door. Block with chair.
The door is now blocked.
Okay, so that blocks them from going this way. Now, does that actually block them?
The door is now blocked.
Okay, good. There's another chair here I can use if I want to, I suppose.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
lovely
carpet.
old carpet.
Carpet. Examine this one.
What a surprise. What?
Okay, there we know. Okay, so we're looking for objects that could potentially help us here. We're doing a Home Alone, I
What this old
suppose.
chandelier is doing on the floor. It looks as though it was poorly attached. I suppose that the thieves already tried to open the lock with this formidable hammer, but they were unsuccessful.
Anything above? If it fell down, I mean, we could potentially find a the rope or use the rope for some of the stuff over there. Take the rope. Yeah, okay. Now I can take it for some reason. What about the hedge? That's also possible.
This hatch leads to a cellar.
Object of interest. That blocks the kitchen door, but we also have this one, which I can use my rope on, I suppose. Okay, then we hang it up and then...
Now, if anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall.
What if it kills them?
If he runs through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down.
Or murder him? Well, that's your problem, Sherlock. What if they go upstairs? What about this thing? Another
Although
window.
This window is high above the ground. It would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape.
Okay, so I gotta prevent that by using something like a table.
This should be useful.
Oh, or is it gonna make them trip? I think I am. Place it up here. Yeah, sure.
One step on these beads, and our thief will go flying.
I have to go downstairs
I should
too, you
walk
know.
carefully here, else my plan will be ruined.
Is that not as careful as you can make it? Anything over here? Nope. If they go upstairs, they're gonna fall. Essentially.
Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly.
No, that just leaves one thing. There's also the front door, perhaps. I mean, this window is also kind of covered. Oh, yeah, I can block the window with this, can't I?
This works very well. No one will escape through this window now.
And then, of course, there's a cellar right here that I can block with something. Did I pick something up that can help? Oh, I can open it now.
There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out.
Oh. That's great. Oh, I need the carpet. Oh, I need the carpet. Wait, I need the carpet for this. All right, Sherlock, we could make the carpet happen to go in here, and then the carpet shall block it.
The door.
There we go.
This should...
Yeah, and then we use this carpet to block the hole to the basement, and that is gonna make them fall down. And then that should hopefully block all of their escape routes.
Now, it's not an open hatch, just a nice carpet on the floor. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined.
Yeah, I don't really have... There's more.
Now, if a thief runs through the kitchen, he'll pay a surprise visit to the cellar. The traps for my circus companions are all prepared. I can leave now, but I'll return later with Charles Foley and his companions.
Okay, sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Police! Police! Stop where you are! Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
You sounded just like a real bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How'd you know about that? Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men.
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers.
I don't get what you mean. That I'm no better than the coppers.
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
Okay, precious, safe, long lost art. The antiques discovered inside the hidden safe at the abandoned manor, it represents the collection of the treasures that were stolen in 1885 and considered to be lost. And it was Foley's vengeance. I can absolve him. Charles Foley will be imprisoned for organizing a grand theft. Since he is not directly guilty of murder, his sentence will be shortened. But what do you mean? He is. He's the one who murdered, right? Charles Foley organized and executed their wicked plan of revenge with an added theft of ancient valuable treasures. Yeah, condemn him. You crazy? You think I'm just gonna absolve him?
Charles Foley, you committed the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful, you Scotland Yard dog.
Save your words for the gallows. I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
I have unfinished business? Where? What? What do you mean? Oh, getting the guy out of jail or what? Oh.
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
That is of no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No life shall be lost. But ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people, sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
Well, let them do their duty. Oh, I can actually explode everything? I mean, they're not gonna kill anyone, so why would I blow everything up as well? That makes no sense. And why did the audio suddenly stop? And start again. Okay, I guess I'll let them. I don't remember what happens in real life. I don't remember the merry men. I'm not British, so I don't know what they do. But I guess Sherlock himself probably would look the other way if I think about what he thinks. Because he's not like... He doesn't care about Mycroft, and he would have told Mycroft about these guys if he intended to actually catch them instead of explode stuff with a cigarette. So, just throw it in the bucket.
When the law serves only the few, it can no longer be trusted. Every man is equal, and he has a right to choose his own way. I shall not stop you.
Or maybe Sherlock will just be
So,
cold about it.
You're interested in Russian literature now.
Quite lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of, pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men. I should leave now. Sherlock, Dr. Watson.
Holmes, what just happened? What was that?
The start of a new world. Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Oh, the
Holmes,
scope.
The lady who will be moving
Telescope?
in shortly
Oh no.
has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?
He's a secret womanizer. No, Sherlock, no. Got all this stuff. Okay, cool. Law protector. I mean, yes and no. Okay, I guess that was the game. Let me just go ahead and blow my controller down without clicking anything to make sure it doesn't like accidentally skip it. I guess we're seeing all the people now and what happened to them. So sad. Well, in any case, here's a graph of the game on my screen right now. Boom, there you go. I guess that's him being executed. Yeah, then we see him being jealous of the guy. Okay, we're seeing like small glimpses of them, I suppose. Okay, cool. Anyway, let me talk about the graph, because this is actually kind of interesting after everything we've been through. Seeing back on the memories and kind of reminding me of what happened. But yeah, this is pretty much a... How do you want to call it? It is a walking simulator with a lot of dialogue, where you make a couple dialogue choices. It is not horrible or bad by any means. But it's not an action game. It's not a pure like adventure game or anything. It has some elements like that, but it is overall simply a puzzle slash detective slash walking simulator game where you then go ahead and make the choice in the end. And I enjoyed it. I really did. And yeah, I'm gonna have to give this game a... I mean, I crashed a lot. I would say it's worth $15. It's actually pretty long. It's not short or anything, but it has some technical difficulties. At least with running on my PC. Mind you that it could be the software that I have running called Reshade. So keep that in mind. It could be that. I don't think it is, but it could be that. This is a game from 2014, I think. It was pretty good when it came out and fairly interesting as well. Oh, we're just gonna watch this. Are we just gonna circle around him while he does that? Are we gonna see something? Are we gonna see something, or are we good, Sherlock? I think it's just circling around him while we take a look at stuff. That's the casebook. Task, crimes, and punishments. I can't leave? Wait, can I not do anything? It actually won't let me do anything. The exit button. Oh well, I guess I can talk over this then. That's easier than the main menu. But like I was saying, it was pretty interesting. It's worth $15 to me now because it's a bit outdated. Now you might see that the faces are pretty detailed, and it is. But if I go ahead and I remove, if I remove all of these things from the game, you'll see a big difference in the quality all of a sudden. Okay, now I've removed all the things I added to the game. Now you'll see that there's less crispness to the image, and it no longer looks as detailed anymore as before. While it still looks alright, like, don't get me wrong, they still did a great job with the models and everything. But it no longer has that nice look to it, in my opinion, anyway. So it does look pretty dated. It also has this weird thing with what's it called? Where it crashed all the time. And again, that could be because of my software reshade, which I have right here. Or it could straight up be because of the game not being able to run on modern hardware that well. So that's an issue that could potentially happen. Regarding the story itself, I will say that it's alright. I liked the mysteries. I did actually not see them going where they went, and I think they did a good job with it, so that's not an issue. The actual characters, all of them pretty unique, pretty interesting characters, and you would think so, right? Because that's the whole thing they're built on. They also did a pretty good job with the exploration, where you figured, when you found items and stuff, and then you were rewarded for it by finding, clues and stuff. It wasn't difficult, so this is not a difficult game. All you have to do is walk around for a bit and look around, and then find things. And then eventually you come to the conclusion that it's the right one, I suppose. But for the most part, when it comes to exploration, it was fun. It was interesting, and it wasn't horrible. I will, however, say that the world itself we were exploring was thematic, but there were very small sections, so I wouldn't say that the areas you explored in were that crazy. They were very thematic, but looks-wise, you can also see that they were pretty dated. And there are some hardware limitations. The game also, I will have to say, ran pretty unstable on my PC. I tried to log it to 60 FPS, but it seems to jump down a whole lot from 60 and then up again. I don't know why that is. I disabled some kind of weird FPS thing that was logged into the game. Maybe that's what's going on. But I did that because otherwise it would just do whatever it pleased with FPS. And even though I've turned it off, it still kind of messes with the FPS for some reason. And I'm not entirely sure why. So that's something to keep in mind if you ever plan on getting this game. It's not a bad game by any means, but it feels very dated. It feels like it came out in 2009 or 2010. Graphics-wise, it still looks okay, but it doesn't look that great anymore. Like, you can definitely see the datedness on it, but it's by no means like horrible visuals or anything. It does have this weird thingy where sometimes you see the characters move and there's like a weird shadow on top of them from the background. Could it be due to the software? You can see on the hand, like right now, you can also see like how his hands moves a bit. There's some kind of weird like edge shadow following it. I don't know what that is. It happened throughout the whole game. Again, it could be my reshade thing, but I don't have anything active right now, as you can clearly see, so it could straight up just be a weird thing. Now I played this game in 4K, and even in 4K you can get like a lot of FPS. Like I got 120, and then it dipped down to 80 sometimes with my 3080, 10 gigabytes. So VRAM could be an issue, but I don't think it was an issue in this game. So I don't think that was a big no-no. So it is definitely a game you can definitely play at 4K if you want to. And bug-wise, like I said, there were quite a few. There were a lot. Again, it could be reshade, it could not be reshade. But if it isn't reshade, it's probably a 5 out of 10 in bugs. Because it's just not made for modern day. It has issues. It kept crashing. It just didn't work that well. When it comes to the... Actually, I give it a 4 out of 10 because it kept crashing. It didn't just happen once or twice. It happens every single time. In every single case. 1 or 2 times. Whenever I open up the thingy and I make a choice in the actual like case view thing, you know? So there were some issues there. But yeah, like overall though, I'll probably say it's a 6 out of 10. And that's only because it has issues. Like it's a pretty fairly long game. Like it's pretty good. Even for 2014, it was pretty dang long for that time. Because usually had like 8-hour long games or 12-hour long games. This one is exactly 12 hours long based on my knowledge. Although it can probably complete it earlier. I think it might be able to be completed in 8 hours. This is episode, 16 or something? And I sometimes spend way more than 30 minutes on a video, so... It could have taken me 10 hours in all honesty, or 11 hours, or maybe even 9 hours. Sometimes I just forget the time and I mess it up big time. But yeah, it could take that amount of time. Like, I will list the actual time it took, bottom left in the graph. But yeah, it certainly took a while. But based on today's standards, I do think the price of this game should go down, but it has aged okay compared to a lot of other games I've seen. It really has. Like I said, this is worth $15 to me today with modern technology and everything, and that's with the crashes and everything considered as well. It is a decent game, it's a fun deductive game, it's a turn off your brain kind of game, and then just play it and then see where the story goes, you know? And then you get to make some choices that kind of doesn't really matter, but also impacts your experience of the game, where you feel like you figure something out as Sherlock Holmes, even though technically didn't do much, you just walked around with him and clicked on stuff. And then eventually you'll piece 1 and 2 together to make 1, 2, and then you're gonna add 3 afterwards. So based on that, it's not a game you need to expect where you actually have to think a lot. It's a pretty simplistic game. And I think that could be a fun for a lot of certain types of people that just don't want to think too much, don't want to do too many things when they play the game. It offers you to skip every single puzzle if you really want to. So if any puzzle ever gets annoying, you can always just skip it by default. Every game should do this in my opinion. Because forcing players to do puzzles and stuff is just a bit rude. I like doing puzzles myself, but having other players who don't like it be able to experience the game without the annoyance of doing puzzles is always a nice thing to add. Just in case you just want to experience the story and the experience of being Sherlock Holmes without all the puzzles and stuff. I think that's a great addition, and I think every single game should do that in modern day, where you just get a skip button. It doesn't need to prompt up, it just needs to be in the options menu or something that you know you can skip puzzles. Like maybe a setting that says skip all puzzles and automatically open stuff. It's really a thing that I don't understand why we don't have more of today. Just a setting that lets you skip all puzzles if you want to. But I'm guessing it's for game time and stuff, because if you skip all puzzles, there's like maybe an hour of the game gone. Just because some of them were pretty elaborate, and I think they had to skip 2 because they were pretty hard for me to figure out. But again, I could skip them, so no problem there. But I did really enjoy my time, and I enjoyed Sherlock Holmes' character. And especially Watson as well. Like, they did the characters pretty dang well, I'd say. Like, it's a very decent, like, story game. Like, it's like watching a movie, sort of, where you're part of it, but not really. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, the only reason why I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 is again, because of the bugs. I would give it a 7 out of 10 otherwise, because the game it tries to be, which is not a first-person shooter. It is not a crazy action-heavy game. It is not trying to be the next Call of Duty or the next Telltale game or whatever. It's just trying to be its own little thing with Sherlock Holmes and telling a story with Sherlock Holmes in the middle of it. Like in the books of Sherlock Holmes and stuff, where you take control of him. And I think they do that very, very well. Even if the game is dated, even if it feels a bit wonky at times, which it does, mind you. I didn't really speak about that, but like sometimes the controls feel a bit wonky. And you know, it's fine. I really enjoyed it, and I actually would recommend this to anyone who's interested in detective games where you have to just kind of follow a story. Not necessarily that you are the main character or you are the main character in this case, but like that you can make your own character. Anything. But if you are interested and a fan of Sherlock Holmes books and movies and who he is and the time period itself that he takes place in, I would highly recommend this game to you, because it is a pretty fun and interesting game about Sherlock Holmes and Watson, and, you know, how they personally shine in their own aspects. It also shows that he's a genius, but it also shows that he has a heart, and it also shows that he is a, what do you call it? He's a person who thinks a lot about everything, and he's a little bit messed up in the head. Hence the beginning of the game where he shoots blindly at everything in the room where Watson could be in. Yeah, it's a special game that really signifies what makes Sherlock Holmes and Watson and everything. I wish there were more side stories to Lestrade and Watson, but they expect you to know about those characters before going into the game. I only slightly know about Watson, and Lestrade I remember from somewhere. Like, I remember him being a cop, but I don't actually remember his personality or who he's supposed to be. But apparently he's supposed to be somewhat stupid according to this game. And Wiggins and all those characters, like, the names are actually stuck in my head. I don't usually get character names stuck in my head when I play a game. And their names and their characteristics are stuck in my head. That being said, there are some characters that I completely forgot about. Like a lot of the actual... I remember Miss White, because she was the one I was probably the most confused about out of all of the criminals. I don't think I remember a lot of the other ones. The archivist guy, I don't remember his name. I remember how he looks, but not his name. And some of the other ones, like, it's pretty intriguing. I also remember Sherlock Holmes when he entered that bar with the sailor outfit and everything. Like, there's just those moments that is pretty cool when you go into those situations, and you get to see things from his point of view and everything, and then you get to act out as him. There's just something about that that's super unique. But that's enough of me blabbering on about that. Like I said, 6 out of 10 game in modern day. Back in the day, I'd probably given it an 8 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. But the game's quality have increased, even if people say that newer games are bad. I don't think they're bad. They're just more buggy. And then they have higher scope, so they can't achieve that scope. This game has a fixed scope. It knows what it wants to be. And it shows what it is. And you get to make the final decision, apparently, where you can either blow up Sherlock Holmes or the Merry Men, or you can decide to essentially let them do their thing. So, yeah, it's unique, and I like it. It has this little own corner in the gaming space. No one really makes these type of games anymore, to my knowledge. About other characters that existed that explore their perspective. I say that, but there were Sherlock Holmes games still coming out today. Like, there was one that came out 2 years ago, I think. But this one just screams of creativity and interest in Sherlock Holmes as a franchise, whereas, like I said, modern games are good, but they kind of feel like they don't have that interest in the actual subject they're trying to show anymore. I haven't played that game. Don't mind me. Like, I don't know if that's technically the case of that game, but I've played that with a lot of AAA games and stuff where it's like that. And indie games, some of them still have it. But in AAA gaming anyway, there are a lot of games I play that just seem to lack a soul. But this one certainly has one. And I applaud it for that. But enough said. I hope you guys enjoyed this Let's Play of Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. And again, I would highly recommend you getting this game if you ever see it for $15. Because I do believe this game is worth that much based on all the different things in the game and all the puzzles, all the investigations, all the clues, all of that good stuff. It's very interesting to play Sherlock Holmes. And it's certainly an experience that I won't forget ever, pretty much, because it's so different than a lot of the other games I play. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Consider checking out my other Let's Plays if you're really interested in watching more from me, of course. Other Let's Plays, I live stream a bit. I make all sorts of videos. So if you're interested in any of those, consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and, of course, looking on my channel. Besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed. And, as always, stay awesome.